case. Ooh, no update. Okay, need to update that when I have time.
Hello and welcome to Yoda Soda Creations, the podcast created with friends too, which is talking about TV all the recent.
Yep.
How was Eve comes upon How was Eve comes upon us once again. Eve comes upon us once again, amongst and, and though I personally feel that certain dates of though I personally would wait for a certain date to come. It which isn't too far off, thankfully.
Yeah, it's been a boring Halloween. Like, nothing going on for obvious reasons. Like, we didn't even pick up any candy for this year. That's how nothing this year is for Halloween. Mind you, I have all my Japan crates, so I'm good on snacks for a while. So I can't really complain.
That said, my parents are still. That said, my parents did prepare somewhat just in case, but yeah. Although, and I'm still a bit, and yet I'm still a bit surprised that a semi-colleague of ours that only showed up for a short while before we got started actually had some people over.
Oh yeah, I remember you talking about, or I saw a post about that. Hopefully that went well.
Given what we've heard, it's going well. Given what we've heard, I think it's decent.
Yeah, yeah. I spent my Halloween, well, recording this video that's currently playing on the screen right now, and watching people play video games. So honestly, I should be prepping in for my special November project.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it all dull? Wasn't it all dull though on my part, considering that well, when you're when you're well deep into a fandom, certain themed episodes will come up in your watch list.
Yeah. uh,
But yeah, here's hoping that. But yeah, here's hoping things will calm down eventually, so we can get back to some other traditions.
yeah, next week is gonna be a long week for me. Well, probably a long week for everyone, all things considered. But like, yeah, Monday morning have to wake up early because the dog needs to go to get a bath. Tuesday, well, everyone knows what this Tuesday is, so yeah, let's leave it at that. And Thursday I have a doctor's appointment in the morning, so once again have to wake up early. I'm not exactly a morning person, so the less I have to wake up early, the better. I'm also well, originally I was gonna be starting up a new game, but still a few things left over for this game, so there'll be one more video of it. But I'll try. But like I want to try to finish that up earlier this week rather than later, so I can, like I said, start up on a new project. I'm split between Breath of the Wild and um, it's not really a new game, though it actually just had its 1.0 release recently. Um, Noita, roguelike dungeon crawler. Collect wands, swap spells around, very customizable. It's like I love that type of gameplay. It's like, and I've actually been watching people play it for like the past couple days now, so I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, like, yeah.
Well, interestingly, we got some news related to, news related to the holiday at best. Bette Midler's confirmed the Hocus Pocus cast is going to reunite for a sequel.
Oh, wow. Hmm, cool. I mean, I've never seen the original, so, but I've heard good things.
It's been interesting from what I've heard. There are certain person still has a few things regarding some suggestive material in it, but other than that, he can see there's a. But other than that, he can see there's a. You can see why there's a following.
Yeah.
MGM was in talks with Apple and Netflix regarding streaming No Time to Die.
Yeah, I read about that. Okay. Uh, I really haven't really been thinking about movies that much lately, because like nothing's really happening for like the next several months, as far as like okay, releases I might care about are involved. I've just kind of given up on the whole movies in 2020 thing.
Well, it wasn't a bit of a total loss because before things got heated, there were few theatrical releases that came out. Sonic and
Oh yeah.
that one Pixar movie with Chris Pratt, whose title for some reason I forgot now.
Ah yes, back before the dark times.
Onward, that's what it is.
Ah,
These are just a couple of samples, though. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina final season trailer released. Premiere set into the new year.
okay. I really checked it out, though I probably should. Although I'm one of the people who grew up watching the Melissa and Joan Hart Sabrina series, so it's like, huh. It would definitely be going into a more horror genre version of the show.
Is that what you call what Nick Bakay was on?
I don't know, but yeah, yeah, it's,
Green Lantern producer Mark Guggenheim. This is the HBO Max TV series is being produced like a movie.
I think I saw something about that. Like, okay, potential there.
A look at Red Hood for the Titan series reveals a comic accurate take on the former sidekick of Batman. Oscar Isaac has been cast for Moon Knight, and Clash and Curio 678 filmmaker Mohammed Diab enlisted as director.
Hmm. It's like Moonlight. What was? It's like, wait, who was Moon Knight again? That's like those slightly more obscure characters.
Well, given Marvel's done wonders with some other obscure characters, I wouldn't be too surprised if they somehow manage.
True.
Shang-Chi and Legend of Ten Rings star Simu Liu says it will break records and make is expecting the movie to break records and make history.
Okay, high expectations there. Are you checking what's next up on the news list?
Have you seen the Batwoman suit reveal?
No. Let me check that out. Ah, there we go. Hmm. Okay. Not bad.
Still getting up over my still getting up over my internet, but whatever.
Yeah.
On the trailer list for this week, we had Midnight Sky starring George Clooney.
Okay. Never heard of that before.
Michael Bay pandemic thriller Songbird.
That I have heard about.
And Halloween Kills, featuring the return of Michael Myers. David Gordon Green attached.
Okay. Speaking of you know, uh, Halloween films, I've actually been seeing advertisements for this it, I believe it's called Freaky. It's like Freaky Friday except oh hey, you switched bodies with a murderer. And it's like okay, that's that's a different way to take that. Like
I
I,
also I've also been seeing ads about that.
it's like hey, I am mildly interested. Just because like it's different. well, not exactly different, but like they're taking something old and making a refreshing twist on it. I could definitely see like the whole Halloween. Like I could definitely see this working. I mean, I could definitely see it working better if it were a year that actually had theaters widely open and people going to theaters and all that stuff.
Given that select theater chains are abhorring some guidelines, I wouldn't be too surprised if we got some uh, numbers.
Fair enough. Also, uh, not next week, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the beginning of National Novel Writing Month. So get your pen and paper out and start writing. But not yet. You still have to. Well, yeah, okay, maybe you can start writing. Depends on your time zone.
I'll see about checking out Freak at some point. In the meantime, I'm pretty. In the meantime, I'm a bit more familiar with the. I mean, in the meantime, I'm a bit more familiar with the current two versions that Disney has done.
Hmm.
Although from what I've Although from what I've heard, I think the second one was major improvement and fitting of the times.
Yeah.
So there's a Assassin's Creed live action and animated series coming to Netflix as part of a new Ubisoft deal.
Okay.
Stargirl casts Nick Terabay and Jonathan Clark as Season 2 villains Eclipso and The Shade.
Hmm. Well, I've heard at least I've heard of one of those before. Not so much the other one, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, the Snyder Cut reshoots are officially underway. Although it's been also noted that Ray Fisher
Yeah.
stated there were stated quote conversations took place at WB prior to said shoots.
Yeah.
Sid Fuller reveals a winged Kate Winslet working underwater in terms of James Cameron's Avatar 2.
Okay.
Slight spoiler warning for the Three Jokers. There's a conclusion that will reveal some major revelations about the Clown Prince of Crime.
Eh, sure it will, and I'm sure it will end up getting retconned at some point within the next couple years.
Mandalorian star Giancarlo Esposito describes Moff Gideon as Warden of the Galaxy.
Okay.
Jaden Martell, True Adventures of the Wolf Boy, open to playing Robin.
Okay, interesting.
Ginger Snaps TV series in the works, with the original film's director involved, and as well as the Killing Eve producer.
Hmm.
Here's some more of the Power Rangers reboot. Titan's co-producer has been tapped for penning the screenplay.
I mean, hopefully it'll be good.
Also looked a bit more back into what my friends was constantly pushing. The turns turns out the only shows that haven't been adapted include Q Ranger, Strongest Battle, Kai Remager, Zen Cager, and also the Korean Animal Force hasn't been English dubbed. Though I get the feeling there might be some confusion with Wild Force.
That's fair.
Well, it seems Tiny Toons is also getting a reboot.
Hmm.
Christian Bale arrives in Australia ready to start production for 11th Thunder. So that's two superhero movies and two comic companies under his resume.
Yep.
Black Panther started the right is saying it's only a matter of time before female-led Avengers movie happens.
Sounds about right.
Mark Tundure, director of Lock and Key and Spell, would love to direct the Blade movie for the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn reveals that helming a Superman movie was a possibility.
Hmm.
Warner is still figuring out the whether to confirm Christmas Day as the 1984 release date. Mari Hardwick seems to be making playing a superhero a priority. Looks like he's also attached to Army of the Dead.
Hmm.
Brian Tyree Henry joining Brad Pitt in David Leitch's Bullet Train. Seems at some point Black Widow's gonna get a action scene with Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh, according to a image.
Okay.
Amara enters the bunker in new promo and photos for Supernatural episode Unity.
Hmm.
Going back to Batwoman, the release date is looking at January 17th for the second season. Black Lightning sees its fourth on February 8th. Seventh season of The Flash for the 23rd. And the highly anticipated debut of Superman and Lois. Riverdale and Nancy Drew returning on the 20th, January 20th. Legacies, the Vampire Diaries spin-off, returning on the 21st, turned back on the 24th. Jared Pad Delicate. Headline series Walker coming on the 21st. Could have said a certain colleague Instagram longer because he would like this next one. Images leaked for Nintendo Switch Pro.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
Into the Spider-Verse costumes have been added for the Miles Morales film. On top of starring for James Gunn's version of Suicide Squad, Steve Agee has also been casted for The Peacemaker. Also headlined by James Gunn.
Hmm.
Then finally we get the casualty report.
Yeah, we had a big one just today.
All I can say was it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Can't help but wonder what SNL is going to say about it. We also had Lee Kun-hee of the Samsung.
Hmm.
Janela Z and Bobby Ball. They were on list of the summer win at one point. Daniela Minnaker, who was attached to Barnes & Noble at one point.
Hmm.
Lou Pelou of the Les Paul Trio. Lindsay Cornett, aka Miss America 93. And radio personality Ed Hurst.
Right. And of course, like you mentioned, the big one, Sean Connery. Eh,
I was a bit head tilting when I saw the name at saw the name at first. I was like, where have I heard that name before? Not much of a resume other than Stone Age Dick Clark. Although should be noted that I do know. Although it should be noted that I do know that the last name was used a couple other times in other places, notably on my end. A location on a route for freeware, freeware from a game that I used to play a lot.
right. And that's reboot number one for the week. Just let me. There we go. Honestly, it's best that we got that out of the way before I started the recap.
And thankfully the series we've been doing for most of the month doesn't shy away from the doesn't shy away from the supernatural, which is what the month usually dictates.
Yep. Oh, but anyway, today's episode. Today's episode recap: the Gravity Falls episode, Boss Mabel. So, Dipper, Mabel, and Stan are all watching TV. They're watching Cash Wheel, sponsored by sponsored by what was it? I I remembered it. And it's like chip packers, the chip flavored cracker. Like okay, that one was a little funny.
There's a lot of parodies with this, from Ritz to Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, but you have to put this on hold because there's some tourists arriving, and that means business. Like okay, everyone, get ready. Wendy, mark up the prices a lot. Oh, what's that? Oh, those snow globes, $200 each. And it's like we see that Stan sees tourists as wallets with legs. But yeah, so Stan's in the tourists around the place, and he has Dipper dressed up as a wolf boy, which he finds very demeaning. Of course, Stan doesn't know the meaning of that. Their joke, not mine. Meanwhile, Mabel's on the cash register, and she tells some jokes and ends up giving a bumper sticker out for free. And Stan's like, whoa, 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 no, no, no. We don't do free. Like if we give if we give something to someone for free, that means they're not giving us money. So he kicks her off the cash register, and yeah, at this point they're kind of getting annoyed with Stan. Then he has the whole group repaint the sign to make it all glittery. Like the group starts talking, and like Seuss wants to like try being the shack mascot. Question me the question mark. And Wendy wants to hang out with friends, and yeah, and like everything's about like Stan told Seuss that he couldn't handle it, and like Mabel's like, no, we're not taking this anymore. So she goes to Stan, and they make a bet. Stan will go on vacation for 3 days, 72 hours. If Mabel can make more money than Stan can, then like okay, she can make the rules. Like it'll change all that stuff. But if Stan wins, then Mabel has to wear a loser shirt for the entire summer. Mabel also adds on that if she wins, Stan has to do an apology dance and song. So the game is on. So Mabel's the new boss, and her outfit it's just like ah. Also, oh, Stan's. We get to see what Stan's plan is. He's gonna go on Cash Wheel and win money there. Oh, also earlier we learned that things like saying please gives him like heartburn or or something like that. It gives him chest issues. That's why he doesn't use the word. Anyway, so yeah, Mabel's the new boss, and like she gets it's funny. It's like so they walk into Stan's office. She does the turn the chair around reveal, and it's like Stan isn't with us anymore. And so it's like, no, we have to die. Why couldn't it have been me? And Mabel has to clarify, no, no, no. He's on vacation for the next 3 days. Oh, I like that bit. Anyway, Mabel gets to like asking everyone like, okay, what can I do to make this a more friendly place for you? So yeah, Wendy wants to hang out with her friends. Seuss wants to be questioning the question mark. And Dipper, well, Mabel takes that wolf costume and shreds it. Anyway, Dipper, he's gonna go out and find an actual mystical creature, not like one of those fakes that Stan has displayed everywhere. So, over at the studio, Stan's there's a long line for auditions. So Stan's like, ah, I'm having a heart attack, and the only cure is to be on Cash Wheel. And the guy in charge is like, ah, he's being a dramatic pain in the ass. Let's get him on camera. It's like, yeah, that's usually how it is. So yeah, Mabel starts doing the boss thing, and things are going well. But yeah, things start to go less well. Starting off with, yeah, Seuss got into the questioning the question mark outfit, except it's a bit revealing in that it doesn't really cover much, and it's basically just like his face in the open part of the question mark, and him in his underwear. Yeah. Uh,
Why didn't you have another part of the suit to go with it?
yeah, I was
According to
thinking like,
according to the drawings.
yeah. So that's an issue. Next issue is, so yeah, Wendy's hanging out with her friends in the shack, and yeah, she's not actually doing her job, and they actually end up kicking in something into a child's face. So yeah, that customer gets a refund because the kid got a black eye. So yeah, Wendy ends up getting the day off, a paid day off, and I was like, wait, they get paid? And then Sis comes in. It's like, hey, I'm questioning the question mark questions, and the lady there's like, ah, and sprays him in the face. So over on Cash Wheel, Stan's being Stan. Doing the introductions. This person, hey, it's Stan. I'm Stan. Ah, and like basically cuts in cuts in for the show and immediately solves the first question. Meanwhile, Tipper's had a bit more luck. He actually did manage. He found something, and some tourists are checking out the shack. And like, hey, I got an actual mythical creature, unlike that fake stuff that fake stuff Stan has. I found a gremloblin, half gremlin, half goblin, and they're like, oh, I can see the strings. Like, no, that's the hair. And they start going off looking at one of the fake attractions. Like, no, 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 no. They say if you look into its eyes, it'll show you your worst nightmares. And so they look into its eyes, and its eye starts glowing, and their eye starts glowing, and cut to them being carted off in an ambulance. Yeah, that didn't go well. Meanwhile, hold on, with Wendy gone, Mabel has to do all the work inside, and it's like, okay, help the customers here and there and there. It's like, okay, this is getting really hectic. And then the Gremlin shows up. But wait, it was in a cage. How did it get out? Well, it turns out Mabel left a key for it to take its break, because it is kind of an employee, sort of, maybe a little bit, not really at all. So yeah, the Gremlin's stomping around the place, and it eats all the money in the jar, and yeah, okay, need to figure out. Okay, let's consult the book. Okay, you can use water in the Gremlin, and Mabel tosses water at it, but only do so as a last resort because it'll make it become much scarier. And it's like, who writes who writes things like that? And I was reminded of like the first boss battle in Final Fantasy VII, and it's like, attack this attack when the scorpion thing's tail is up, and it will counterattack. It's like, yeah, maybe don't write your instructions like that. Okay, trying to figure out what to do. And okay, it's morning now, and the Grimloblin's been messing around with one of those wall-hanging singing fish things. But yeah, finally notices the two, and it grabs Mabel. It's gonna look into her eyes to show her her worst nightmare. But Dipper gets its attention and shows it a mirror, and we see that its worst nightmare is realizing that it's become its own that he's become just like his father. So it's like, ah, and it crashes out of the shack, and yeah. So Sus and Wendy show up. Yeah, hey, good, they can help clean up. Ah, but Wendy's not feel. Wendy's head hurts, and Sus was Sus went on a nature walk earlier and was found by a pack full of wolves, and he thinks that they plan on raising him as their own, and feels like he has to get back to the den soon. I was like, that's all right, right, Mabel? And it's like, at this point, Mabel has had enough. She puts her foot down, like, no, you're cleaning up now. Get to work. And she realizes, like, okay, she's becoming just like Stan now. But Dipper points out that, yeah, it's what's needed for this. So, back on Cash Wheel, Stan is $300,000. Like, okay, he could take the money and go home, or risk it all to double his money. And of course, Stan sees like, hey, more money. I'm gonna go for that. So Mabel's getting things all back and good and stuff. And like, okay. So turns out, but Dipper's like, okay, turns out actually magical stuff freaks people out. So what can we do? And Mabel has an idea. So we have Dipper dressed up in a nice suit and eye patch, and shows off their newest attraction, the Question Baby. It's suited in the Question outfit. And it's like, am I a baby or am I a man? This is a serious question. They're like, and everyone's like, ooh. And and Dipper's like, you can take you can take a picture with the Question Baby for a, a dollar, no, $10, $100 each. And they're like, yeah. So they're raking in the cash, and like it's all good. But yeah, once you factor in everyone's pay and, the cost for repairs, they're left with $1. So, time's up. Stan is back. And it's like, and everyone's like, okay, how much money did you get? And he's like, I won $300,000 on Cash Wheel. And I bet it all on the secret word thing. And we cut to it like, okay, the secret word is, okay, the six letter word for asking nicely for something. Some say it's the magic word. It's of course please, but we know Stan's feeling about that word, and yeah, they actually give him two chances at it, and he completely blows it. So he comes home with nothing, meaning that Mabel has won the bet. Like, I guess that makes Mabel the new boss. No, 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 because they realize that yeah, Stan's kind of a pain in the ass, but he does know how to run a business, kind of. And it's like, yeah, Mabel realized, like, yeah, running a shop is a lot harder than it looks. It's like, okay, okay, that's nice and all. Everyone get back to work, please. Though that word still gives him issues. But wait, there was a bit about Odea, a song and dance. I'm like, no, 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 no. Yeah. So, yeah, Wendy goes and decides to go and get the camera, and over the credits we get to see the song and dance that Mabel wrote. And it's like, yeah, very funny.
Unfortunately, it takes several. Unfortunately, at the end. Unfortunately, for the last bit. Unfortunately, at the last bit, we find out it takes several attempts to get it right.
Yeah, they were in the like 30 somethingth attempt because yeah, co-director Waddles wasn't quite pleased with it. And yeah, that was Boss Mabel. Funny episode. Stan gets not Stan. Mabel gets this basically be in Stan's shoes for some time, and yeah, finds that yeah, not quite as easy as it seems. Meanwhile, Stan realizes that yeah, maybe being nicer to the employees you know, might help a little bit. But yeah, good episode.
Definitely felt less bothered and got more laughs this time around.
Yeah,
And one interesting thing what they realized about Stan, I have no idea if the creator of a series I watch on YouTube kind of saw this, or they're somewhere else, or if this is kind of a common thing. But when you said good at business, but not quite as good in other areas, it kind of reminded me of kind of remind kind of reminded me of one of his last one of his previous installments of that series.
Ah,
In which has a character of similar principle.
right. But yeah, so a lot of the boss battle that's currently on the screen is basically me trying to figure out which one of these sub weapons works best in this fight. Also, basic pattern recognition. I eventually get round one down pretty well. Just the second round that's kind of complicated. Also, it also helps that in this current phase of the fight, there's a basic pattern going on, and one of the attacks is perfectly made for a full health and mana refill. Yeah, it's that fireball attack after she sends out the Ofuda in the straight line. The fireballs are perfectly that if you just duck down, you'll graze all of them and gain all your health and mana back. Like, okay, no need to jump around, just duck. Mind you, I didn't end up beating this by the end of this video, but I at least memorized the first half of the fight. So I'm thinking that once I do the next and final video of this one, if I manage to beat this quick enough, I might like do a run through of the boss rush mode. After I find that last sub weapon I apparently missed out on. Also, after this, I'm thinking of like maybe making a bag of rice because yeah, we had ribs tonight, and yeah, I don't really like ribs, and I didn't eat much of it, so yeah, I'm kind of hungry. Honestly, I don't really like food with bones in it, you know? But then again, I'm lazy, so yeah.
I can take stuff without drumsticks, okay. Well, stuff that are not drumsticks.
Drumsticks are... Okay, drumsticks are easier to manage than ribs. Okay, it depends on the ribs. Some ribs are like that specific way where it just kind of slides off the bone. That was not the case.
I'm better on the knife. Is all I'm saying. Although I've noted that one particular dish I prepare every Wednesday. One particular dish I prepare every Wednesday.
Oh,
By the way, and by the way, the stuff that are not drumsticks are boneless.
right.
I usually go. I usually have the drumsticks more.
Eh.
Well, it's time for the next crossover preview. We're going to be getting some more characters in Pony Life, according to a figure tease.
Oh, all right. I don't think I've checked out Equestria Daily today.
The Husband Hotel crossover. Oh my.
Wait, what?
Oh, it just saw Husband in the. Oh, it just saw Husband in the fan comic tags, and fan comic tags. I was wondering, and my
Ah,
suspicions were correct.
oh. So those are the figures you mentioned. It's like if we get Pony Life Sunset Shimmer, then it's like yes, 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 yes. Uh,
Pin enthusiasm is hyped a bit with the Kickstarter that got started yesterday.
Oh, the enamel pins one.
Yes.
I was just looking at that. Like, okay, they look nice, but it's like gets into a thing like, oh, okay, how much would I actually end up using them? Yeah, it gets into the whole practicality thing.
Also, after a couple months, the crossover collection expanded a bit with Transformers.
Mm-hmm. uh, so I wonder what next month has in store for for the podcast, because like nothing really theme worthy, you know. I mean, December will always obviously be like Christmassy stuff. So I guess we'll have a month of general normalcy before getting back into another theme month. So, anything else to talk about tonight?
Still haven't gotten word from the artist, but hopefully he'll respond to that at some point.
And two. Okay, there's only about 7 minutes left of the video. Yeah, we should probably start wrapping things up for tonight.
Getting back to that. Getting back to that schedule. I almost at the almost at first almost at first thought it was going to be mostly thought it was good. Almost at first thought it was going to continue being Gravity Falls. Although a special date is coming up next week, and I don't, and I'm not just talking about certain. Well, I was more referring to something that film seems to have landmarked.
Right.
I was a little bit. I was a little bit. Was a little bit hesitant though, because I wasn't sure if anyone because I wasn't sure if anyone was going to provide. But after last minute search, managed to find a place that could hold it. Probably not to the quality that probably not to quality that you might be find it acceptable, but still, it works, I guess.
Yeah.
Although you may notice that for some in a while, we're going to move the start time back a bit. Or a bit more early.
Ew. Okay. I'll see if I can manage that.
I was counting on the material to be long, but not exactly as long as, say, 2 hours, 12 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting.
Let's just say it's becoming a bit more. Let's just say it's becoming a bit more appropriate in recent times, especially,
Yeah.
and the date's becoming a bit more significant. Also, kind of explains the impression I was trying to do when we got this started. Probably ended up trying it again.
Right.
Until then, as per usual. Stay safe, stay well. One little extra thing, happy birthday to Rob Rackshaw, who was a VA from a couple of things we watched earlier.
Hmm.
And we will hopefully, hopefully see you next week. Take care.
See you later.